Hey, welcome to the Brilliant Marketing with Mary show. And I am Mary, or Mobile Mary. And I'm so excited that you joined us today because I have a fantastic topic and a fantastic guest host. And we're going to blow your mind, literally. The topic of today's show is how to find your power of purpose. And Leah is what is called an intuitive oracle, business oracle, and she can literally see things that we cannot see. She gets information from above and she uses it for good. And I am just so grateful to be a friend of hers. So I'm going to introduce her in 1 second. I just want to give you a little taste, a little excitement of what is to come. There's a couple housekeeping things. Thank you again so much for being here at the show. This goes live every Tuesday at noon, and I am thrilled to always invite people to my free Facebook community, where it's a playful playground. Marketing Innovators Playground is all about having fun and being creative to magnetize your best customers towards you. So we have a lot of fun. I share a lot of cool software and things that people can use to be innovative and again, magnetize their clients to them. So I just want to put that out there to invite you because it's absolutely free. And we'd love to have you join us there. And like I said, today's show is all about your power of purpose. I was going to say purchase, which is weird. But Leah will be able to go into this in more depth. But I just wanted to share a little bit about her because there might be one person in the world that doesn't know who she is. So I thought I would do us all a favor and share a little bit more about Leah. So Leah, with over 26 years of successful operational business experience, has helped shape thousands of entrepreneurs and business owners into the inspired leaders they always knew they could be. I love that. As the Oracle on Purpose, she will help you cut through the confusion and will guide you step by step to finding and fulfilling your life purpose, right? Because everyone's is different. This coaching is something you've never experienced before. Leah is the Oracle on Purpose, an intuitive business architect and purpose and prosperity mentor. And she's been helping business leaders and entrepreneurs really find and follow their purpose to a life of fulfillment and prosperity. And I've witnessed it. It's truly magical. So without further ado, let's bring up Lia Dunlap. Yay! I love it. Thank you so much for taking time out today. I know you're so busy and it's so awesome to have you on my show.
Never too busy for you, Mary. Never, never, never. I'm so glad you allowed me to come and share and play with you today.
Yes, yay. Okay, so we're going to get right into it because we have 15 minutes. It's all about our client, our listeners, I guess. Listeners, watchers, all that stuff. It's a podcast, it's a live stream, it's all the things. We want to give them great information so they can get it and get out, right? So the first thing we're going to do is I know we have a question that's going to take over a lot of it. So let's just start with that question because I think it is so important. In fact, let me make sure I have it because it was so brilliant. I don't want to not show it. Well, let me first show everybody that your website is oracleonpurpose.com, and on all the socials you can find her at Coach Lia Dunlap, which is amazing. So before we get started on this question, which I'm going to put up on the screen, Leah, tell me a little bit about why you got into this line of work. Obviously, you have experience in operational skills, but tell me a little bit more about why this was something that you felt inspired for doing for businesses.
Oh, thank you. It's an interesting story because as many people who have talents and gifts like I do as far as being intuitive, it's not always accepted in our families, in the world. And so many moons ago, it's now almost been 30 years that I started doing this kind of work. I kind of hid it. I did it on the side. I did it because it was like part of who I was and I couldn't stop doing it.
Oh.
And in the meantime, to prove that I was a viable person in society, I went off and I joined the corporate ranks. So my parents were happy that I had a good job and I was doing all the things.
Right.
And then many moons later, I continued to do the work that I'm really meant to do, my own purpose, which is to help utilize that gift that I have. And then I stopped. I stopped because I got consumed by it not being good enough, it not being the right thing to do. And
Wow.
so
And here you've been doing it for so long, and
I've been doing it for
people
so
get
long,
results.
but I felt like if it was meant to be, I would be so successful with it that it would just automatically happen. You know, all those overnight successes you hear about.
Right.
So I decided to go back into like just dive into the corporate side of things. I was in sales at the time, and I literally drove myself nearly to death. I had
Wow.
a moment, which I like to call my 2x4 moment, where I was like, okay, I know God, you have this plan for me, but I got to pay the bills. I got to do the things. I got to be an important person in this world. So I'm going to push, 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 do, do, do. And in the midst of a very busy sales push, I got stuck in traffic on going between Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, literally stuck in traffic. I thought you were
Literally,
talking about the
on
traffic in
no,
your head.
literally, I was stuck in traffic, and all of a sudden, I had a sharp pain in my chest and my shoulder,
Oh.
and I started sweating,
Oh,
and I was on a bridge, literally between these two worlds. And I ended up driving all the way to my office and pacing in front of my boss's glass, corporate walled office
right, right.
until he called me in because he's like, "You don't look good." And I said, "Yeah, I think I'm having a heart attack."
Oh,
And he said, "What are you doing here?"
right.
And in my
Oh, the
head, I had
hospital.
gotten so bogged down with this idea of like, this is success and I have to reach this ring and I have to do these things and I have to fit and I have to squish myself in and they're going to fire me and I'm going to lose all these things and these things and these things. And I, I drove myself home to get my husband to go to the hospital. Now, fast forward a bit. Luckily, it was stress induced pain that was going on, and it was like
Like a panic
basically
attack type
an
thing?
anxiety, but it also had a lot to do with like physical stuff. So I had a surgery to take care of that.
Oh,
But it wasn't a heart attack, but it was enough to get me out. It was like my timeout. Like I said, it literally was like, stop, think
God
about
was
what you're
like,
doing.
"Hello, trying to get
Yeah,
your
I always like to say,
attention."
like, the nudges come and something feels not right. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, that's it. Stop. You got to listen.
Wow. Wow.
And so what I found while I was recovering was that I had given up this really big part of who I am and why I do what I do.
Wow.
And it was, what was I going to do? Like literally it was like I brought myself to this place where I literally thought I was going to die. And I
Wow.
still pushed to do this other thing. And so my boss sent me this text message on a BlackBerry. That tells you how long ago it was.
Nice.
And it said, like, here are all the things we need you to do when you get back, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I am not coming back. And I chucked the phone across the room. I'm like, oh my God, I just quit. And then it was like, okay, so what are you going to do? And so I
Can you imagine getting that text? I mean, obviously, you're
Could
a
you
very valuable
imagine? And
employee.
then
You're just like,
I
"What?"
sat in the dark for until like I just sat there. And my husband came home later and it was all dark, like the house was dark, and I'm sitting on the couch and he's like, "What's going on?" I said, just quit my job. So that happened. And he was like,
So
"It's
that
about,"
happened?
yeah. He's like, "It's about time."
Oh,
This was really who I was meant to be and what I was meant to do. And the great news is that nothing I did has ever been lost. So, like all of those years in sales and marketing and operations, I use them today with
love
my
it.
clients,
Thank
and
you
it,
for
and it,
saying that, Leah, because I think so many people
yeah,
and our listeners are afraid of pivoting, right? Keep going, doing the corporate job because you're wanting to make your parents happy or your husband happy, or your kids, whatever. And
yes,
like, really? Like, and so, like, it's okay. It's okay to realize, and you need someone like Leah, everyone. Just hello, hello. You need someone like Leah to help you figure that out. But that's the thing, like, you need to figure out, in fact, that kind of goes to your brilliant marketing share, which is your purpose leaves clues to life and business success. So, can you kind of dive into that a little bit as
yeah.
well?
That's so. As I sat there reflecting, like, what am I going to do next? It was
Yeah,
very clear for me. Like, I had been luckily doing a lot of this work on the side. I've been doing like women's retreats, and I've been talking about the idea of purpose. I've been talking about how to manifest things. I've been talking, 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 and helping clients on the side do
right.
phenomenal things with their lives and businesses. So it's kind of like you know, turn the viewer back to
Right,
yourself
it's
for a
turn the
moment.
spigot back on. Well, I was gonna say, when you stopped doing it, like, and went back to what you thought you should be doing, right?
Yeah.
I bet your clients were like, "Hey, wait!" Like,
Right.
big
Well,
freaking out.
yeah, well, so part of that was that I just kind of disappeared inside of myself.
Mm,
And so when I started back again one of
Right.
the things that I looked at was what was working. And I was like, in their lives because I'm so committed to making sure that they're aligned with who they are as a human being and why they're here. We are all here on purpose. It
Right.
is a 1 in 400 quadrillion chance that the person, the beautiful Mary that's across from me, is here. That's not an
Right.
accident.
No.
And so, why? What is it about? What did you bring here? What is that brilliance that is only you, and why, and what is it, and how can you bring it into the world? Because that is true fulfillment. And so I was like, what do I have? And I was like, oh, I really can help people and I really see. And I was like, and the Oracle does help me to see what I need to see for them so that they can make the next step. And then we look at
Wow.
their life and we say, look at your life all around you. There are clues. And I work with them. I have a specific process that I take them through, which is called, it's basically how to figure out what your sweet spot is in life. And it takes you through this process and kind of
Ooh.
clears away the clutter of, like you said, all the things you're supposed to do, should do, people think you're good at. And
Right.
it gets right back to the core of it. And then you look over your life, over your shoulder, and you see that it's happened. That when you're doing those things, you're most happy, you're most successful, and people flock to you for it, even if you're not trying to do it for a business. And
Right.
so when you incorporate that in the work that you do, again, we don't lose anything, then we actually weave in something that's super strong and powerful. And by the way, exactly what the world wanted when it created you.
Right. You said basically said what your brilliant marketing fact is today, right? When you show up in alignment with your purpose and message, you create a beacon,
Yeah,
right? Because people are so clear about what you do that they can't, like, and if they need, again, you can't tell people when to hire you, but you need to be out there being a beacon of light. And I always say an answer to a prayer that if
absolutely.
they have like, oh my God, what, then they're so magnetized towards you, they can't help but work with you. Well, this is the question. I know we only have like 3.5 minutes left. I'm sorry. We're
Okay.
like, I could talk to you all day, Lee. You're fascinating. Um, but this was the question that we spoke about. How do we know? I mean, that boils down right down to it, to your work, right? How do we know that we're on the right path in our work?
Right. So this is great. I'm going to make this super easy for you. If you're listening to this right now, that's a clue because you're curious about why you don't feel satisfied. And the
Right.
biggest reason that we don't typically feel satisfied in our work is because we are out of alignment with that purpose. Now, I'm not here to say everybody should quit their job. It's not
Right.
the case.
Right.
It's that you need to bring your full purpose into the work you do, and you need to do it in alignment. And that part is typically where people feel like there's just something in them that feels like, I should be happy. If that phrase passes through your mind more than once in a week, there you got work to do. You got work
Yeah.
to do to figure out what it is that can make you happy, whether that's staying in that job or not, staying in that industry or not, completely changing careers. I've
Right.
had all of those things happen with my clients. But ultimately, it comes back down to, if I show up in the morning and I feel like I'm doing the thing I'm meant to be doing, whether it's quote unquote hard or not during that day,
Right.
I'm filled up inside with
Yeah.
the passion and purpose of doing the work that I'm meant to be doing, then I'm filled up. My cup is overflowing. And when your
Yeah.
cup is overflowing, you don't feel fractured. You don't feel overwhelmed. You don't feel frustrated and
Right.
angry at like silly things that are happening on the job, as it were.
Right.
Instead, you feel like, okay, I got this. I'll figure it out. So that's part of it. And the other part really is, if you're looking at your clues, here's some clues to look at. If there is something in you that physically is aching, it may be a great sign that the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is tapping you on the shoulder. And before it becomes a 2x4 like it did for me,
Yeah.
I suggest you investigate, what is this telling me?
Right.
Is my back hurting because I'm not making enough money? Am I not really feeling like I'm prosperous enough doing this work?
Right.
Because that's another sign, because
Right.
you should be making money. Your purpose will be prosperous. That's not, they're not mutually exclusive.
Right.
So
And I have to ask you because it always kind of, I always like, when you say alignment, when you're in
yes.
alignment, I mean, obviously it's you're doing the thing that you're aligned with, but is there something deeper than that? The word, if when you feel like you're aligned with your purpose?
To me, it's when you're serving through your own spirit the way they're meant to. And
Okay.
you know it because it feels like you could do it forever. And guess what? People wouldn't even have to pay you. You're
Right.
just so happy to do it.
Yeah. My dad
Yeah.
used to say that when you do what you love to do, getting paid is just frosting on the cake.
Yes, exactly. That
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah. I love that. Oh my gosh, Leah, I can't believe we're actually over 15 minutes. So we need to wrap it up. But if there is, tell people how they can get a hold of you so you can help them figure out their purpose and get in alignment with and feel good and be excited about doing what they do. Like, how do people find you?
The easiest way to find me is do at Coach Lia Dunlap on any social media platform. But if you really want to know about your purpose and your prosperity, click down below on one of these, or just go to oracleonpurpose.com, and yeah, let's get started.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you for being the blessing that you are. Thank you for helping people find their true purpose, right? Because they might be doing exactly what they are meant to do, but maybe they're just not feeling right about it. And I think that happens so much. I was saying to you off, and I know I have to end the show, but just to wrap up, like this month is my 35th year in business. Like I'm only 36. So how is that possible? I don't even know. But I mean, and even I get that imposter syndrome where I'm like, really? Is this really what I should be doing? Should I be doing something? Maybe I should scrap it all and go, and I think it always comes up, but it's so nice to have someone who really specializes in helping ground you and lock in that so you feel confident that you're not always questioning. So, Leah, thank you for doing that work. I love you so much. And we're going to end the show. So again, everyone tune in next week for another A Brilliant Marketing with Mary, because I only interview brilliant people like Leah. And so I encourage you to check in or tune in, or I don't know. I've lost my mind. All right. Thank you, Leah. Have a wonderful
Thank
day,
you,
and
Mary.
love you all. And we'll see you next week. And remember, be brilliant in all you do. And here we go.